Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to visually decode the magnificent architecture and the deep spiritual symbolism of the Second Temple in Jerusalem. I'm honestly so excited to guide you through this because, well, we aren't just looking at an old building today. We're looking at a literal masterclass in how ancient builders used stone, gold, and space to communicate the profound. We're going to break down how every single design choice had a distinct purpose, and how this structure became the ultimate stage for spiritual history.
So let's dive right in. Let's ask a really fascinating question. How exactly did ancient architecture bridge the immense gap between a bustling, everyday earthly city and the divine? I mean, when you want to build a house for the spiritual center of the universe, what does that ultimate sacred space actually look like? How do you even begin to organize it?
Just look at the sheer scale of the achievement here. We're immediately immersed in this massive, ornate structure. It's built from this beautiful light-colored stone that just completely dominates the visual field. And this representation brilliantly reflects the monumental renovations commissioned by Herod the Great. It wasn't just built to be functional. No, it was built to inspire absolute awe in anyone who laid eyes on it.
Section 1. The Crown of Jerusalem, a city nestled in the hills.
To truly understand how this building functioned, we really need to begin from the outside in. As you can see, the dense, sprawling city of Jerusalem is nestled right among these rolling hills. It's a city of immense topographical variation, and bathed in that warm glow of the sun, whether setting or rising, the temple stands out as the undisputed crown of the landscape. It isn't just a building in the city, it's the literal and figurative high point. Every street, every sightline literally forces your eyes upward towards the singular, gleaming monument.
Section 2. Walls and courtyards, drawing the boundaries.
Now, moving closer to the complex, the crucial point here is that it uses a really strict series of courtyards and fortified walls. This wasn't just some open plaza that anyone could effortlessly wander through. Not at all. These walls served a profound psychological and spiritual purpose. They strictly separated the sacred, holy space on the inside from the everyday, secular life of the rest of the city on the outside. It created a literal threshold right there between the human world and the divine world.
Section 3. A Hellenistic facade, approaching the grand entrance.
So moving inward from those protective courtyards, we arrive at the breathtaking grand facade. And wow, this brilliantly illustrates the prevailing Hellenistic architectural influence of the period. Just look at the framing of that entrance. It specifically showcases 4 prominent towering columns, topped with these striking ornate golden capitals. It shows us that this sacred space was actually speaking the architectural language of the wider ancient world, blending local spiritual significance with the kind of grandeur that any visitor from across the empire would immediately recognize and respect.
Right past those massive columns, we find these large, ornate golden doors acting as the primary entrance. Imagine the sun hitting those. This signals to absolutely anyone approaching just how sacred and intensely valuable the interior space truly is. Gold doesn't just represent wealth here, folks. It represents purity, light, and the immense reverence demanded by what lies beyond that threshold.
Section 4. The Sanctuary Hekel, the dwelling place of the divine.
Turning our attention upward to the imposing central building, this structure is known as the Hekal, and it intentionally dominates the surrounding complex because it represents the ultimate spiritual center. This isn't just an assembly hall. Symbolically, it is the literal dwelling place of the divine. The height, the stark street lines, the sheer imposing nature of the stone, it's all designed to make the human observer feel incredibly small in the presence of the infinite.
Scanning up to the very top of the Hek Hall, you'll notice it features a flat roof. But look closely, it's bordered entirely by these stunning golden decorations that resemble flickering flames. It's just an incredible architectural detail. It's almost as if the building itself is crowned in perpetual fire, reinforcing that this is a place of active, burning spiritual power and divine presence.
Section 5. The Sacred Pinnacle, the Theological Climax.
Our spatial walkthrough finally brings us to the absolute highest point of the temple. But let's pause here for a second to ask a really compelling mystery. Who exactly is that solitary figure standing atop what's famously known as the pinnacle?
Regardless of the exact historical era you're looking at, the presence of a figure at this pinnacle perfectly evokes a deep theological narrative. Specifically, it aligns with the story of the temptation of Christ. It places a human figure at the absolute highest, most precarious point of the sacred world.
And this beautifully encapsulates why this architecture matters so much to us, even today.
It isn't just an imposing building of stone and gold. The Second Temple was the ultimate dramatic stage for a pivotal spiritual encounter. The architecture sets the scene perfectly, right? The height provides the danger, the sanctity provides the stakes, and the structure itself becomes an active character in the theological drama of the ancient world.
As we conclude this explainer, I want to leave you with this thought to ponder. We have seen how the Second Temple used walls to create boundaries, gold to signal worth, and incredible height to symbolize a direct connection to the divine. So look at the buildings around your own city today. Ask yourself, how do our modern structures continue to separate the secular from the sacred? How are we still attempting, through steel and glass, to literally touch the sky? The materials may have changed, but our human desire to build towards something greater? That certainly hasn't. Thanks for exploring this fascinating architectural journey with me.